Welcome to Brick System Brothers, everyone. My name's Nathan Masters. This specific LEGO piece is our 16th installment of the HUWTAP playlist. So HUWTAP stands for Hold Up, What's That Awesome Piece? And it's just an opportunity to look at an individual LEGO piece that I feel is interesting or has a significant role in LEGO history. And today's piece is, I'll pull up the number here, 33215, and it's called Tower Roof 6x8x9. So a larger piece for sure, probably the largest one we've done in the series to date. And the dimensions are pretty apparent. This is a 6x8 plate, so if we attach this to the bottom, you can see pretty clearly that the base of the tower is 6x8. And in fact, these two circular protrusions do fall exactly within those dimensions on each side. But there are some 45-degree corners cut off of each one of these, kind of on the composite slope here. And then the other dimension, 9 studs or 9 bricks tall, is from the height, and it is exactly 9 bricks tall. I'll put my measuring stick up here, somewhere like that, and you can see once I get this stuck down correctly. Yeah, there you go. Exactly 9 bricks tall. So 6x8 at the base, 9 bricks tall, tower roof, 6x8x9 on Bricklink. So this piece is nice because it does have this shingle detail, and this is molded into the part, so this is an actual plastic detail. It's not printed at all. In fact, I don't think any of the pieces we have from this mold have been printed, although some may have gotten a sticker. Actually, let's go ahead and look on our Bricklink and just take a look here at kind of the history of the piece. I like to use the pop out and sort by sets, and you can kind of see where the different colors have been used. So the most popular one is the glitter trans pink. That was actually the first color released in 1999 with 12 sets total. Behind that is sand green, the one I have today, in 9 sets. Didn't show up until 2001 and had a 10-year run, so pretty good. Magenta is behind that with 7, a little bit of a shorter run there. Black is actually the most recent color we've seen, but it's only been in 4 sets. It was also almost the last one to be introduced, right behind dark purple. I think this came out in a Friends set now 7 years ago, in 2014. It was only in 3 sets, but it did last 2 years. The light bluish gray is a little bit harder to find for a solid color. Even though it's a handy color for roof building, it was only in 1 set in 2006. So good luck trying to find this. Prices are a little higher on the secondary market. Of course, 2 other sets, or 2 other colors, were only in 1 set, the trans light blue and the glitter trans purple. Both of these from quite a while ago, 2000 and 2005, but these colors not as desirable for roof building as light bluish gray. So I think this is the one that gets a little more attention. In fact, this was mentioned in my rare LEGO video as being an example of production rare versus non-production rare. So if you remember back to that video, just an example there of a specific part that was only released in 1 color, in 1 set, and in this case, was there only 1 of them? Let's go see. Yep, just the one in Arkham Asylum. So in addition to only being found in this set, there was only 1 of these elements in the set. Pretty hard piece to find just in terms of, being a more limited release. Another thing to check while we're online here is the New Elementary review for one of the hidden side sets that includes this piece. Found pretty nice use of the part here. If you turn it on its side, it becomes a mouse nose. So going back here to the piece on the desk, yeah, I can see that. Definitely facilitated, again, by these 2 circular parts here on the side that protrude. The only time I remember seeing these used specifically to represent something from source material was when this piece was used in the Harry Potter line, and it was used up on the top of the dorm towers, and there was that kind of angular tower coming off the corner here as referenced in the movie. So a well-made use of this attachment feature here. I have used this piece in one of my larger projects, the Patriot Hill house, and I did showcase that back on the channel a while ago. So a clip of that just shows I actually used 2 of these back to back with a little bit of slopes in between, and then I also used the 2 circular protrusions for some tower detailing. So looking at that Patriot Hill, and just kind of asking, you know, how do you fill in between something like that, we have the really nice system lineup with these 1x2x3 slopes. So these are some of the tallest, steepest slopes you can get in system, and they've been around for a little while. So these were definitely a dimension before this was. I think this was spec'd out to this slope angle. And what you need to do is stack 3 of these. Remember, this is 9 bricks tall, and each one of these is 3. So 3 of those is exactly what you need to create kind of the matching slope there. On the brick side, again, with the texture, it's not going to be perfectly the same. This is definitely a smoother finish with some kind of roof tile molded into the finish. And our standard slopes are a little bit more of a grainy surface on there. So that's kind of historically what we've seen as the surfacing on our slopes. But I feel like as long as you use the same color, it doesn't really detract a whole lot from, you know, the transition from this piece over. And then up on the top, there's 2 studs wide of a connection point. For Patriot Hill, I ended up just running a 2x plate across the top and kind of flattening that out. To actually continue this into a peak would be pretty difficult to maintain the slope all the way up. Although you could put a 45-degree slope on here and call it good if you did want to have a nice sharp peak up on the top. A couple other notes about how this plays with the system. Again, these 2x2 protrusions are pretty well acclimated to receiving our standard 2x2 round elements, and those will be able to continue up as far as you like. We have the radius kind of molded into the side of the piece so that there's no interference whatsoever with these elements. If you put them on top there, you can actually see that molded from the inside here, and the inside is completely smooth, so there's no extra detailing. The base of the roof section has these 45-degree cutouts that I mentioned, and these match with a couple of our standard Lego plates as well. These 3x3 with the corner removed do match up to this, and naturally the negative space there would match up with a 2x2 cut at 45 degrees. So you'll notice that these two, while they match up with the outside edge of the part, don't actually form a complete plate in the middle. You need to do some filling in. I don't have this specific piece, but I do have this one. There is another octagonal plate that will actually close this up just very nicely. If you put this one on, it's actually set back a little bit. So this may be useful if you want to have a brim at the base of your tower, and since the bottom of this is notched out, that works just fine with studs. Even though they're in the way there, it actually sits down all the way. So yeah, if you want to have a brim around the base of your tower and you don't mind the back not lining up exactly right, if all you're looking at is kind of the brim around this continuous base of the slope, this piece will work pretty well. If we move this up one plate or one stud, now our edges line up here, here, and here, but it kind of breaks down because this is a 4x4 edge instead of a 3x3 like we were using earlier. So again, there is the plate that's a size smaller than this by 2 studs in every direction, and that's what will fit along the base of here nicely. Don't have that for our looking today, but I did want to mention it because that does play with the system pretty well. So I like this piece. It's nice for building roof, like larger roofs and steeper roofs, without being super part intensive, and this kind of compound slope would be really difficult to get with plates or the other slope pieces that we have, like these guys, just because, you know, getting these angles to close up, pretty much impossible with plates and clips and hinges. You could probably get a pretty close approximation, but doing it all with one part just, you know, saves pieces, it saves time, and it's a decent looking part for the job. There's probably going to be occasions where you wish you didn't have this little protrusion, just so that it could be continuous all the way up, but I think they bring more to the mold than they take away if they weren't here. So I'm glad that we do have some kind of items of interest attached, and it's not just a single slope all the way up. Single slopes, probably better to build out of the system elements we already have. This kind of thing allows us to be a little more creative and more opportunities for building, and just providing kind of a jump off point. I haven't checked this yet, but let's actually see how far up from the base this would be. It looks like it's going to be 2 bricks in 1 plate exactly up from the base. So to get something to line up right here, we'll build up with 2 bricks and a plate, and then you should be good to go as far as putting something across both of them. That should work by system standards. Yeah, something like that. So that is in system as well. So even though this is a 1999 mold, since it was well designed and fits with the system, it's seen continuous production all the way through 2020. Hopefully we'll see more of it in 2021, and there are more HUWTAP episodes to come on Brick System Brothers. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.